Hi, and welcome to What to Expect When You're Selecting. Today we're here at Focus on Kitchens. They're one of the top cabinet makers in Toowoomba, and we're here with Craig and Sam, who are going to chat to us about kitchens and what to expect when you make your kitchen selections. So first of all, thanks for joining us, guys, and we look forward to hearing what you've got to share. First things first, if we send a client to come and see you for a consult, what sort of things would you like them to bring with them, or sort of have an idea of when they come to see you?
Yeah, okay, so I suppose the first thing we ask is that our clients make an appointment. I suppose the time we go through all the layouts and the colours, there's 1 to 2 hours. So I guess we want to just make sure we can allocate that time. And then I guess typically you'll have a plan. So if you're building, that will be a builder's plan. I suppose if you're renovating, that may depend a little bit on the size of the house. Sometimes you do a nice drawing for me and do my job for me. And then I guess if you've got any existing appliances, so say if you're going to use your fridge you've got at the moment, or your microwave, or even an oven, just to bring some details on those so we can sort of get our drawing accurate and get those sizes put down.
Yeah.
And then I suppose if you're something tiles.
If they've done tile selections or flooring selections, it's always handy to have those with them as well. Certainly helps with colours.
Yeah, and I think the kitchen really is that centre point, that focal point of a home. So knowing that it ties in with all those other things, all those other selections is really important as well.
Yeah.
So where in the selection process do you generally like people to come and see you?
I guess that's sometimes can be a bit of a mistake, I guess, is leaving us too late in the chain. So typically we prefer pretty much when you get your plan to come and see us, because I guess that just gives us the opportunity to make changes. So say if you've got your sink in the middle of the island and you want it up one end, or it's been drawn as a wall oven but you want an upright stove, it just gives us that chance to make those changes on the plan. You know, if the slab's gone down or the frames are started, then that's probably getting a bit late. And obviously there's costs involved and things like that. So, I mean, the sooner you can come in and see us, I think the better.
So, Craig, in terms of layout and things like that, what are your top tips for the design and the overall functionality of the kitchen?
I think to do your research, I think. So, obviously things like Pinterest. I quite like Pinterest because I guess clients can bring in a photo or whatever. And it's, and it shows us exactly what they want. Yeah. So, a lot of our clients will text me or email me their photos. I think that's a really good way. And also, I guess a lot of the stone companies and Lemonex and Polytech, they'll have their own websites. So if you can get on, have a bit of a look, and that way when you come in, you're sort of a bit familiar with the products, and that might be a good start.
Yeah, and then with layouts, you will also go through and change a layout that doesn't really work that you've seen before, and you can work with how you lay your cupboards and drawers and all that sort of thing out as well.
Yeah, I suppose that's sort of going back to a bit earlier too, of getting in early so that we can do that. Yeah. But generally, I suppose that's part of the appointment is we sit down and, obviously we go through, working from ovens and sinks and fridge positions and things like that. And then, drawers and pull-outs and all that sort of thing. Yeah, comes with that.
I think that's the thing I really appreciated when we came to you originally with our plans for our own home. Was that it really was a consultation, and you guys used your your knowledge of whether things would be functional or not to actually give us advice. And I think we ended up making some changes on what we'd originally drawn. And we love our kitchen the way it is now, but it was definitely sort of that consultation and you guys working with the client to help make that happen. Now, I was sharing with you guys before that I was shocked that Carl and I didn't have a blue when we came to make kitchen selections, because it was good. He let me have what I had in my mind.
I didn't say much that meeting.
But obviously it's a big decision to make for clients. Do you have some decisions that you generally know are really going to be difficult for people to make? Like, are there decisions when clients come that you think, yeah, this is a tricky one? Like these are things they have to decide on or things that are tricky?
Yeah, I guess obviously colours is a big one. You know what I mean? Bench tops, you know, doors. That's where I sort of recommend. So say if you've got an appointment on a Wednesday, maybe duck through the showroom a day or two before. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you're just coming for a wander through, we don't really mind if you haven't got an appointment. And that way you can sort of have a look at all the different finishes, different stones, and then that way maybe when you come in for your actual appointment, you're familiar with, you know, what you've got to select from, and it's not too overwhelming. Because I guess it's a bit of a fine line for us, because we want to have as many samples as we can for people to pick from, but we don't want it to be overwhelming, as you said. So I guess that's where we just try and guide you. And that's, you know, if you do come in those couple of days earlier, at least when you do walk in the door for your appointment, you can say, right, I'm going to go stone, and I want to go 2-pack doors, and that might be a good start. Yeah.
And so then at least that way, if they have come in a couple of days beforehand, it's like Craig was saying, people get so overwhelmed, and we're obviously here to guide them, but if they have had a little look around before, it's definitely an easier process for them to get their head around both layout and colours if they've had a look around. And most people don't even realise that they've got preferences, you know, doors over drawers, and they don't think colours matter to them, but then you know, start shooting ideas around, and then all of a sudden they realise that they do have a style. Yep. But yeah, it's just them acknowledging and realising that style, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, like, we're seeing a huge resurgence of like the Hamptons thing, that sort of country style sort of thing. You know, is that playing a big role when people are making decisions on things like their cupboards and that sort of thing? And what is the difference then if we're talking 2-pack as opposed to a lemonade? Does that sort of help with with changing the style of the look, I suppose?
Yeah, and I guess this is where things have really changed from, say, 20 years ago, when you basically, for your cupboards, you could pick a flint melamine, and then you go to 2-pack, and then you'd be timber, and that was pretty much it. Yeah. Nowadays, there's so many more options with the melamine side of things. You know, there's semi-gloss, high gloss, texture. So I guess the basic difference between the two is, so with a melamine, so we buy that in as a sheet of board. Obviously, that gets cut up, and it has a 1mm PVC edge put on it. So very efficient, cost effective. And then I guess we go to a 2-pack. So whether that's a flat door or whether it's a routed door, both times basically board comes in, we cut it up, and it has to get sent off to a specialised supplier and gets sprayed in a booth. So a bit like a car paint, I guess, is probably the closest.
And so then going back on to new products and things like that. Yep. So what are the latest trends in new styles and new products and things like that?
Probably less so on the product side, like the fingerprintless and the high gloss have been around for a little while now. It's probably more so in the trends, more of those warmer whites and taupe coming through. And then colours really popular at the moment. A lot of blues and navies, a lot of greens starting to come through as well. Which is, it's nice to see people starting to put a bit of personality in their kitchen and not afraid to do that, which is cool.
Yeah, so keeping away from less neutral colours and then
moving towards
to
that.
Towards a bit of colour, and people are
people are being a bit more brave.
And I guess with the product side of things, we don't often see a brand new product come out as a pull-out or something like that. It's more about probably improving existing ones. So say, for instance, drawers, you know, with your soft clothes and all that. Like, I guess nowadays the runner is better, you know, the different colours, you know, white, grey, black, the weight capacity. It's all those sort of things that improve over time, more so than a new product. I mean, we do see a little bit of tech stuff. You know, there is a phone charger, so it mounts from under the bench. So basically you can just put your phone in that vicinity and it will charge through the bench. So I think we will see a lot of that tech stuff start to come through, even running things off your phone and things like that. But I guess it's, for most people, it's a costing thing, you know what I mean, what they end up putting in.
Well, I feel like we've sort of just scratched the surface when it comes to sort of what to expect when you come here to make kitchen selections. But before we finish up, is there any sort of last minute advice that you want to give to anyone that's looking at making a kitchen selection?
Yeah, I think we just encourage people to come in and have a look at what we've got. I guess that's what the showroom's for. With all your different textures and stones and that. So come and open doors and drawers and feel the different finishes. I just think that's a good way to really make your selections. So.
Awesome. Craig and Sam, thank you so much.
Yeah,
You've been
thanks,
wonderful.
guys.
Thanks.